Hi there, my name is Jim Turner. Please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell. You know the routine, right? Everybody says that. That's because that's how people make a living, is off their podcast. And a lot of people pay, the food for their children and family and bills. And yeah, they podcast. Don't keep that sun out of your eyes. Yeah, podcasting is how they make their living, right? And so, yeah. So here we go. So I'm going back to my beehive. This is my bee cave, right? So my bee man cave, right? So there's my grapevine, and I just walk along this grapevine. This is like my paradise, right? My homemade paradise. And so I come on back here. I was back earlier, and I was coming around this corner right here, next to this baited hive right there, and she bounced right off my nose, like boom. Like, oh, excuse me. Right, so I'm coming back in my bee man cave, and so here I am. Same old thing again. So there's my swarm inside that yellow box there. Inside the yellow box. Tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. There you go. Okay. So, and there's the girls there. So it is getting close to navigational flight time. You can see how all those girls are built up there. So around, I fed them some 1-to-1 right there. That's their pig feeding trough. It was so funny. So around between 4 and 5, all those girls, these are new. They've never been out in the world, right? They're just out getting fresh air for the first time, and so they're building up, getting ready for their first navigational flight. And so it was so funny. The other day I was out here and I gave them some 1-to-1, and I picked up my bottle. Here's my bottle. I fill it with 1-to-1, just like a little treat like you do with your pets, Put it in here, and I just fill those little caps now and then. Just see, I don't know, it just makes me feel good, Better than putting $1,000 down a slot machine. Oh, I felt good. Yeah, I'm gonna throw another 1,000 in that slot. Push this lever down. That's an awful addiction, man. And so I'd done that for, I started doing that for about 3 days. And I noticed that one time when I went to start walking to it, because I hadn't fed them that all day, and as I started walking to it, they started walking up to the rims and staring at me. I kid you not. Staring at me. Anticipation, maybe? You decide. I'm just sharing my eyeballs with you. And they're just staring at me. And I went, well, no. And I started feeling those troughs, and man, they were like pigs in a feeding trough, in a circle. They just went to town, all circled in there, just like they are right now. Right? Just, they're just staring at me until I poured. And then they started feeding. Huh? Do bees think like that? Like a pig or something in that sense? When they see food coming and they anticipate it? Can bees anticipate stuff? I imagine they can anticipate stinging your butt. My butt. My butt knows. And so, yeah, I think they can have certain anticipations of things. They got brains, 300,000 synapses, 100,000 neurons. They're doing something with those things, right? Figuring something out. And I watch them play. They like play. I've given them all kinds of structures. Watch how they interact with those new structures. They look like kids in a playground, I guess. Just trying to draw metaphors, And so it's really interesting. And I watched one girl, a cherry leaf. So the flower dried up, and it fell down from the cherry tree onto their landing board. And I watched the girl walk up to it. She pecked it. And she pecked it a little harder, and it rolled back towards her. And she pecked it harder. And then she went after it. And she rolled around and rolled around. Then she got off and she looked at it and then pounced even harder. Now, if that ain't play, come on. And she rolled around on that landing board until she fell off the edge and hit the ground. And I watched her. She kind of gathered her senses, like, huh. Okay, and then she just flew back up to the hive and went in. That was, and I've seen that happen a number of times. I've given them little things to play with and watched them play with them. And so, just having fun. We're just having fun, right? In their bee way, not a dog way or a human way or a cat way or a dog. No, a bee way. Huh? Not be the way it is, you see. And so, yeah, those girls are piling up. Right. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. You know, I don't want to sit here all the time. I got things I got to do, you know. I'm picking a bunch of cherries, and I've got a bunch of them that I froze. What's called quick freeze. So I picked a couple hundred cherries. Oh, it might have been more than that. And sit down. I watched the movie, and I de-pitted them with this. You know those sticks that Asians used to eat with. Yeah, you know. And it's right there. It's just doesn't want to come out. And chopsticks. And so. They're building up there. Oh, I was talking about the cherries. So I quick froze them. Yeah, I've been busy, man. Busy day. All kinds of things. Snow peas. Got to blanch those. You know, chill them and then quick freeze those. I quick freeze a lot of stuff. And I put them on flat trays. And I eat them throughout the winter. That's my winter food, right? I rarely go to the grocery store. Only time I go to the grocery store is for like a treat, like bananas, something fresh like that, you know, something that I want to eat that's fresh, that's not frozen. And that's kind of mostly the reason why I go. Or when I run out of my unmolested nuts, and I don't get anything that's salted or anything added, it just says fresh from the farm, fresh from the farm, fresh, just freshly roasted. Not running through the mills or like, you know, there might be some peanuts leftovers in this. There might be some other chemicals in this. Nope, I get them where that's all they do. They just do those things in that one. Yeah, that's my thing. Yeah, they're building up and getting ready to go. Look, that's interesting. Now, I've been seeing that lately now, but I haven't really paid much attention to that. You know, I just like, oh, why are those girls up? I'm going to come in here now and then, they're just all clustered around on that landing board. I don't understand. It's called bearding also. But I think those girls are there because they're getting ready to take off almost all at once and do a big navigational swarm. Because that's what it looks like, right? What do you think? You think that's what they're getting ready to do? Navigational swarm? Or flight? Whatever fits you. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever is most vernacular. Whatever's most vernacular to you, you know. And I'm gonna give them some of their, I'm gonna give them a little treat. Gosh, we got dropped. So I'm gonna give them, when they're just eating that stuff up quick. So when I put that sugar water in there, yeah, it's gone pretty quick. And it's really hot. It's been in the mid-90s last few days. And so I did this with the watering hole. I had rocks in there, but I never seen one single bee going when I had some red rocks in there. I didn't see one single bee going in there and get water. So yesterday I took it and took out all the red rocks because I wanted to give them something to crawl on so they don't drown, because they're not good at the backstroke or any other stroke. So what I did is I cleaned that all out really good, and I put some fresh water and grabbed a bunch of sticks that are laying around, and I built that right there. And I only seen one girl go in there and get water for the first time after removing those red rocks. Might be some chemical in the red rocks they don't like. So and that water was from the hose. Now what I'm also guessing is bad idea. They can smell that plastic rubberish stuff, you know, oily smell, and they don't like that either. So from now on, when I'm gonna get this big container, I'm gonna keep it with fresh water in jugs with a cap. Because I get in there, and you got an open container of water, they'll get in there and they just drown themselves. Many times, I pulled out many right before they're goners, and just held in my hand, and yeah, you're gonna be all right. But I learned not to do this. A woman back up. No, no, no. I did thousands like that, but I paid twice for that. And so, no more of that silly stuff. I'm such an empath. And so, what I learned to do is take a stick, put it in the water. They climb right up on it, man. They don't, no hesitation. You just touch them with that stick. They know it's a stick. They know it ain't your finger. If you use your finger, it'd sting you. The odds are, unless they're almost gone, you know. But, because that happened to me too. I reached in to grab one that was drowning. Oh, I'm going to save your life. She stung me when she was still in the water. Well, that's the last time. So, those things we got to learn the hard way. That's okay. I don't mind learning the hard way. It's stories, that I can talk about to myself. If no one at all, I just tell my story to myself. I'm a self-storyteller. Right? Well, if nobody's going to listen, I'll just tell it to myself. And so I just built that up with some wood, scrap wood laying around here. Oh, those are from I trimmed my grapevine back. So now when they get in there, they can quickly climb on something. So what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to give them fresh water, because that water that's in there, I'm going to dump that out. And I'm going to give them distilled water. So I got these big buckets with a lid, and I can keep that in the house overnight and keep it out of the sun. Because this time of weather, I'd rather have the fresh water be a little chilled, and that'd be good for them. Just a little bit, like 60 degrees or something. That'd feel good on them on a 95-degree day. And so there you go. That's today. Please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell. This channel has no value if you don't subscribe, and I like comments. Doesn't matter what they are. I engage everybody. You give your opinion, and we can share some opinions back and forth. And as long as we're engaging in an honest, interlocking communique back and forth, it works good for both of us, all of us, right? Just be fair. And there you go. You have a wonderful day. And oh yeah, my hive. So there's still girls up there wandering now and then. Now and then. But they don't stay very long. They're gone pretty quick. They do that boomerang thing, and they come fly usually right in front of my face, and then go right in there. So what I did is I rebaited that. I think it was yesterday. Either yesterday or the day before. I rebaited it. Hope for another one. I think if I would have been wise to this marauding thing, right? Marauders are scouts. What does a scout do? Well, they look for places. Now, the fact that they went into this hive up here, the peach tree, means those marauders were bouncing around my main hive. They knew where that was. So when I baited that hive and put it up in that tree, they didn't have to go very far and say, hey, what's that smell? They smelled that lemongrass oil, and they went right in there and said, oh, I'm going to go back and tell everybody. So when there's more than one place that's found by the bees that go out and search for a new home, whoever does the best dance, so it's about the dance, right? Whoever has the biggest disco ball, that does the best side of the knot fever, that's where the hive's going to go, because they'll all do that. They'll go, so the bees will go to inspect a hive, a baited hive, and they'll go back and do their little dance, and they'll just keep doing that. And whoever could really shake it the best, they'll get the most attention, and the other girls go, let's follow Sue. So they follow Sue to that hive. And that's just nature. That's their nature. And so, okay, so far this is my day. Hope yours is going well. And please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, leave a comment. And we can have a chit chat, powwow, my little bee cave. Yeah, so these are gonna, this is all mint here. So that's all gonna start flowering. I think it's already, looks like it's already started to open up its buds. Maybe. So this is all gonna be really beautiful purple flower. It's gonna be a really pretty purple flower bed. And they really like those. And then so they'll be in those. Right now they're all up in the blackberry flowers. So they're kind of purplish white, the blackberries. Yeah, they're done with the blueberries. Uh, my grapes, they don't flower, bummer. They just grow these little turd-like things on a stem, and then, you know, turn into grapes, no flowers. And so, but I got lots of raspberries everywhere. I got rows and rows of raspberries and other plants that flower. And those are all raspberries back over there, the whole row back, double rows. And so they got lots of flowers. And those raspberries, they're double bloomers. Well, the ones over there, they just go once. But these are behind me. They go 2 seasons. They'll do two times, sometimes 3. Depends upon global warming. Maybe what are those different weather patterns? I forgot. Oh shoot, it was just in my brain too. Yeah, they got those. Oh, gosh, they come like they change every like 4 years or something. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And so everything's going well here. Just waiting for my next swarm. Swarm 2. Give me 3 hives. And so yeah, don't, for you beekeepers who are especially new and you're wanting to catch a swarm, don't ignore the marauders around your hive. Put your baited hive somewhere kind of close, but higher above your hive. Um, Preferably a tree, but it doesn't have to be. You can just run some 2x4s together, make like a 2x4 square, and or something. Anything your imagination will take you to, right? And mount your beehive to that. So it's about 8, 12 feet, something like that. Well, this one here is only like about, I don't know, 5 feet high. But it's higher now, and that's only like 2.5, 3 feet, right? So that one there. So they ignored that one over there. They went for the higher one, right? So even if it's only 6 feet off the ground, if you can get something 6 feet off, build some sort of structure so it's 6 feet off the ground. Pack some wood around it, looks like a tree. Get artistic, Throw some, cut some branches off something and pack it around your artificial tree. And I was like, hey, go get married. Here's a spot this tree will do. Any old tree will do. So I'm gonna go ahead and give them some more treat, just because I can. Oh man, you girls, you ate that all up so quick. Here you go. All right. Oh, she's swimming in it. Oh man, she was in there just, once it came in there, she stayed in there and just kept drinking. She's like, oh, I'm just gonna stay right here. Just keep drinking this right here. She's swimming in it. Oh, she's still in it. She's just sitting on top drinking. So you go. Oh, I didn't fill it all the way. If I would have filled that all the way, she would have jumped right on out of there. Probably her legs. Those are just bottle caps, Coke bottle caps. She's like, I used to drink pop years ago. I keep stuff like that. I kept the bottles, the caps. I use them for all kinds of projects. Just the caps, right? Well, yeah. I got a garden thing in the front that I took Coke bottles and I cut the bottoms off. I flipped them upside down. I planted a bunch of strawberries, rows and rows of strawberries, and in them, put some dirt in there and stuff, And I used the caps to put on the bottom. I'll put a hole in the bottom, just so that the water doesn't come right out. So the water will back up a little bit. And it just depends on the season. Now in summertime, nope. Summertime, I put a different caps on. I put a sealed cap so that I keep about that much water in the summertime in those hanging strawberry 2-liter bottles. I try to keep that much because they'll dehydrate because they're right out in the sun. They'll dehydrate really fast. And so when I water, I can see, because they're clear bottles, I can see how much water's in there. But I don't want to drown the roots. So as that water vaporizes, it'll continue to water the roots. And I get strawberries. And it's kind of cool. Yeah. And they're all right. Thumbs up. Subscribe. Ring the bell. I'm nothing without you. I know there's a song like that. Just ain't coming to me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nothing without you. So I'm thinking about creating a podcast that's called Singing Beekeeper or something like that. Because I want to start recording some songs like at the beginning, like play a little section at the beginning and then a little section in the middle and a little section of my song at the end. It'd be me singing. I started playing guitar and singing when I was 12. Never went anywhere. Too many other things going on in my life. That took a back seat. Yeah, but I still like doing it. I like nostalgia. You know, you get a car when you're a teenager, you know, and you get a car and life changes and you get rid of that car and then you get settled in your life and go, man, I sure like to get that kind of a car back. You know what I'm talking about? I had a Trans Am 74 New Edition, cherry red, metallic red, with the bird and all that, the scoop, 400cc, with a quadrojet. I was 18 years old in the military. That was my first car I ever owned. I didn't have a driver's license very long. It's like I got it and they took it away. You just can't drive around 160 miles an hour. They're going to stop you. I was always traveling 160 miles an hour on those straightaways. I couldn't help myself. I was like a speed racer. I used to watch Speed Racer when I was a kid. I pretended I was him. That boy, was there a price to pay. Yeah, the insurance was high, the gas was high, it was so expensive to operate a Trans Am when you're just an enlistee in the military, you know. So, yeah, I always wanted to get that Trans Am. I saw them go, the exact same car, red interior, everything. I saw that go on sale for $400,000. Then I just looked at another one similar, same price range. I went, what the heck? And the price of those were going up because that was the last muscle car ever made, 1974 New Edition Trans Am. And man, it's skyrocketing. And then I had a brother take me to a junkyard because we were talking about them. He says, oh yeah, Jim, there's a junkyard. They had a whole bunch of those Trans Ams around here. Well, we went looking for one of those because I was going to get one. Pay a junkyard price, and rebuild it. And they were all gone. Everyone was gone. My brother going, there was a bunch of them around here. People were sucking those things up and rebuilding them and trying to get that $400,000 out of those things. Well, now they sell for so many people did that the price went down. You got too many Rembrandts? It's like one a Rembrandt on every corner. Well, it's not going to be very expensive, right? And so, yeah, they dropped way down. I think I seen some here just a few months back for something like 30,000 or something, 70,000. Yeah. Supply and demand. You got too many supply and not enough demand. Bada boom. Yeah. I told someone about that about a year later after I saw that. The guy went online and he goes, what? 72,000? That's how fast it dropped. All right. Bye now. Subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell. Have a good one. They are getting ready to do their daily navigational flight swarm. They be swarming. And eating. Bye now.